Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We will continue to discuss growth and change and transformation, and we are going to be discussing the power of your story, embracing authenticity in leadership. But before we do any of that, I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to take space. I want you to be proud of the work that you're doing. We have done so much work together. We are learning about how to self-care, how to manage our finances, how to lead from a place that our values are front and center. And more important, we have begun to learn about limiting beliefs. Here's the thought I have in mind. Just like values have strategies, limiting beliefs have stories. And so we go and we find all these limiting beliefs, and then we turn them into positive affirmations. And we know how to use them now. Here's what's going to happen. Maybe not the first month, maybe not the second month, but all of a sudden, things begin to happen that remind us of the stories that created these limiting beliefs in the first place. That's why I want you to take space right now. Take a deep breath. This journey that we are on is not about perfection, but it is about presence. And it's not that presence where you're there to hold space just for the sake of holding space or learning how to do something new. But we are in a community where we're holding space for each other, space where we can freely talk about who we are and speak about our stories. You're investing time in the change and the transformation that is necessary to lead from wholeness, not from burnout. We're often told that we need to be leading from our strengths. But what if your greatest strength is not your title, it's not your talents, it's not your education, but it's that little piece of the story that made you brave, that made you courageous, that made you strong, that piece of the story that let you know, I will not break. But because you decided you will not break, you develop limiting beliefs in the middle of that story. So now you know that. And you know that you have been performance-based. And you have begun to learn, I am valuable. I am enough because I am me. I can be in relationships and receive love because I deserve it. But one day, somebody shows up who reminds you of the people that were in the stories that you come from. And you begin to think again about family pain, lack of trust, abandonment, perhaps divorce, the dreaded word trauma histories. And then we get caught up in our feelings. Our spirit is stressed out. And there's a very important place that we forget, and that is our soul. Healing doesn't disqualify you from leadership. On the contrary, it qualifies you. Not because you have it all figured out. Not because you have worked through something. But because having walked through that made you wiser, stronger. And when you tell your story, you'll see that you're even kinder. Your story has strength. Not the polished story. Not the curated highlight reel that we like to post on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever your social media is, but the part of you that was stretched, that was broken, and that it had to be rebuilt. But you still chose to keep showing up. That's what makes you credible. That's what makes you real. So here's a challenge. I'm going to put a challenge before you. What are you still hiding? What part of yourself that is healed, you're still hiding because you fear it will not be accepted? What are you afraid of? What would happen if people knew? We're not just here to talk about leadership. We're here to transform the way that we lead. And before we enter the next session, I want to pose this question to you. What part of your personal story have you left out of your leadership, of your relationship, and what it would look like if you bring it back to life? You don't need to have all the answers. You just need the courage to be honest with yourself first. During our sessions, I will share one or two of the stories that I've come to now love and understand, just to lead as an example, using my truth, because I believe that sometimes when we use our story, we give other people permission to tell the stories. It is a privilege to spend time with you. And I hope that you will take the time. Maybe it's time to pull out the journal and begin to think about, what are the stories? What are the stories that I tell about myself? What are the stories that I tell to myself about myself? I'm looking forward to spending time with you. Your story has power. And when you become authentic, your leadership becomes transparent. I look forward to spending time with you.